Welcome Leo, Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au with the June 2017 forecast. It's an interesting month for you given that your ruling planet, the Sun, is transiting the 11th house of friendship now. Mars is also there, but getting ready now to exit that area from what I can see on the 5th of June. So pretty much that first week is going to be pretty hot, pretty fiery. You've got to be careful because that combination, even though they're friendly planets, can produce some difficulties in terms of the relationships you have with others. And there are some right-angled aspects there to what we call the North Node in your Sun sign. The North Node is an interesting one. It has to do with your cultural connectedness along with certain karmic influences on you, just to, how in or out of step you are with people around you. So there could be some differences of opinion there in the first week. Definitely the necessity to adjust yourself and accommodate other people's opinions as the month of June commences. Notwithstanding that, you have some pretty awesome stuff going on in the upper part of your horoscope. Firstly, Mercury is there, and we see that the communicative power of that planet is strongly reinforced by Pluto, which is in your 6th house of workplace activities and co-workers. So that side of your relationships seems, at least in the beginning part of the month, to do a lot better than the social side. And the other factor is the ruler of your career, Venus, now moving to a very powerful and unpredictable conjunction of Uranus, which will take place on the 3rd of June. So that this first week is pretty intense, pretty busy. That's also receiving the, or just has received the trine aspect of the moon, which has to do with, hidden things, secretive things, delving into your past. And maybe you're gaining an understanding of just how important it is to learn from your previous mistakes to make some greater headway in your professional activities. But with that Mercury there now, and we see that moving out on the 7th, so this is exactly 1 week into the month, you will have a lot more communication. There could be a lot more emails. You need to manage that side of things. And also too, obviously Venus being in conjunction with Uranus, which is a very technological, progressive planet. This new artificial intelligence and robotics and internet, you need to be on top of that. So forming a conjunction in the 9th house of your horoscope has to do with very much ideas of improvement of your skill sets, knowledge base, education, seminars and that type of thing. Or in some cases just educating yourself for purposes of maybe looking at alternatives to the work that you've been doing if you're not particularly happy with where you're at this stage of the game. There is a full moon taking place in the sign of Sagittarius in your 5th house. That's pretty nice. That is very much to do with connecting with members of the opposite sex. This is the romance section of the horoscope. You've had that untoward transit of Saturn there, although it's creating some nice aspects to Uranus, Venus and the node. It is still inhibitive, to say the least. The full moon there, which takes place on the 9th, a couple of days after those movements of Mercury, are all positive for either re-establishing a relationship that you've had or meeting someone new. The other side of this, the deeper level of this, is connecting with your inner child and really ramping up the creative aspects of your personality. The full moon, of course, is very emotional. This tells us that if there are some interests that you've had, hobbies, even sports, which are ruled by the 5th house, then you may just well have a lot more emotional drive to pursue those things, rather than what we've seen in the first part of the month, having a strong connection to your work and activities in your workplace. The Sun, which is the ruler for you, on June 5th makes a square aspect to Neptune. This again could show some doubts relating to the way you're relating to your friends. There is an opposition on the 15th of June to Saturn, which is in this 5th house. So there's a lot more responsibility, especially if you're a parent. And this can devitalize you, or it may indeed have something to do with problems associated with children and their health. We see the ruler of your children is Jupiter. That's in the 3rd house now, retrograde. But it actually does make a forward movement from what I can see here on June 9th. Well, there's a lot of stuff happening there in that 7th to 10th and 12th area. So I'd say that that's a time of the month when a lot of stuff is going to happen for you. And the other aspect there is the movement of the sun into Cancer. That happens on the 21st later in the month. Low key period for you for 1 month. And that will continue into at least the first couple of weeks of July. The other thing there, it will make contact with Mercury on the 21st, same day that it moves into the sign of Cancer, because of course I mentioned earlier, Mercury is moving pretty quickly. It moves through the sign of Gemini, your 11th house, and then straight into the sign of Cancer on the 21st, exactly the same day. So there's a very powerful conjunction of those two planets. This can also mean spiritual retreats, foreign travels, holidays, just getting away from the hustle and bustle of everything, and maybe you need it. So the end of the month is pretty good. The final aspect too, which I want to talk about, is the new moon taking place in that 12th house. So that also highlights those last two aspects of Mercury and the Sun. Look forward to your company next month. Don't forget to pop in, as you should, to astrology.com.au for the more detailed analysis of the month and the year, and also the daily horoscopes that we have there, and personal readings with me and my affiliates if you think you need it. Strongly recommended. It's always good to just get right down deep into the nitty-gritty of your horoscope based upon not just the sun sign as we do here, but your date of birth, your time of birth, and also the place you were born to. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.